Let's break it down. We're going to delve into a concept that can be incredibly damaging to your sense of self and your relationships. It's a form of manipulation that can leave you questioning your sanity. Gaslighting is a manipulative tactic, a subtle yet insidious form of psychological abuse. It's a game of control, played by someone seeking to undermine your confidence and grip on reality, where someone makes you doubt your own reality. They distort your perceptions, making you question your memories and your understanding of events. It's like living in a funhouse mirror, where everything is warped and distorted. They might deny things they said or did, even when you have clear evidence. They might outright lie or claim you're misremembering things, or twist your words to make you feel unsure. They might reframe your statements, putting words in your mouth, or accuse you of being overly sensitive or irrational. The goal? To make you question your memory, your perceptions, even your sanity. They want you to doubt yourself so much that you start relying on them for validation and guidance. This isn't just a misunderstanding or a simple disagreement. It's a deliberate pattern of emotional control. It's a calculated effort to undermine your self-worth and make you dependent on the gaslighter. The gaslighter wants you to rely on their version of events, their interpretation of reality, not your own. They want to be the sole source of truth in your life. Over time, you start to lose confidence in your own judgment. You begin to second-guess yourself constantly. You might feel lost, disoriented, and unsure of which way to turn. Isolated, as the gaslighter often tries to isolate you from friends and family who might offer a different perspective. And unsure about everything, you might even start to question your own sanity. Gaslighting is a form of emotional abuse, a deeply damaging pattern of behavior, and it can be very subtle at first. The manipulation often starts small, making it difficult to recognize. But as it continues, the gaslighting intensifies, becoming more frequent and more blatant. It wears you down and makes you dependent on the manipulator. You become emotionally exhausted and increasingly reliant on the gaslighter for validation. It can happen in any relationship, regardless of the type of connection you share. Romantic, family, where power dynamics can sometimes be skewed. Friends, even at work, where professional relationships can become toxic. Recognizing this pattern, identifying the signs of gaslighting, is the first step to taking back your reality. It's the first step towards reclaiming your power and rebuilding your self-confidence. You deserve to trust your own thoughts and feelings. Your perceptions are valid and your memories are real. Remember, confusion is a warning sign, not a flaw in you. It's a signal that something is amiss, and it's time to pay attention to your inner voice. The term gaslighting, a word now frequently used in discussions about relationships and power dynamics, comes from a 1938 play. But where did this now common term originate? What's the story behind its rise to prominence in our modern lexicon? Called by Patrick Hamilton. It wasn't just any play, it was a psychological thriller that delved into the darkest corners of manipulation and control. In the story, a husband manipulates his wife, not through physical violence but through a far more insidious method, psychological warfare. By dimming the gaslights and then denying it, a subtle yet devastating act of control, making her question her sanity. He wanted her to doubt everything she knew to be true. He also makes noises in the attic and insists she's imagining things, further eroding her sense of reality and planting seeds of doubt. The wife, Bella, starts doubting her own senses, her memory, and ultimately, her own mind. She begins to feel isolated and alone. The play was so powerful it was adapted into films, captivating audiences with its chilling portrayal of manipulation, with the 1944 version starring Ingrid Bergman solidifying the play's legacy and bringing the term into the cultural consciousness. Bergman's character, Paula, is systematically made to feel she's losing her mind, a victim of her husband's cruel and calculated scheme. The film brought the concept of psychological manipulation to a wide audience, sparking conversations about the nature of abuse and control. The term gaslighting was born from this story, forever linking the play and its film adaptations to this specific form of abuse, perfectly describing this kind of abuse. It gave a name to something that was often unseen and unspoken. It's about making someone doubt their own perception of reality, their memories, and their very sanity. The story gave us a word for a very real, damaging behavior, allowing us to identify and discuss it more openly. Now we use gaslighting to talk about emotional abuse that rewrites someone's reality, often leaving the victim feeling confused, isolated, and powerless. The lesson? If someone keeps denying your reality, twisting your words, and making you question your own sanity, it's not just drama, It's manipulation, and it's important to recognize it for what it is. That's the origin of the term we use today, a term that continues to shed light on a dark and damaging form of abuse. Gaslighting doesn't just cause momentary discomfort, it systematically chips away at your self-esteem and confidence, eroding the very foundation of how you see yourself. It's a subtle but devastating process that can leave you questioning your worth and abilities. When someone constantly tells you your memories or feelings are wrong, invalidating your experiences and perceptions, they are rewriting your reality. This constant denial can make you doubt your sanity. Over time, you start to believe it. You begin to internalize their distorted version of events, losing faith in your own mind. This constant questioning and self-doubt inevitably leads to anxiety, a persistent unease that shadows your every thought and action. You worry about saying or doing the wrong thing, constantly censoring yourself to avoid further criticism or manipulation. This fear can extend to all aspects of your life. You might find yourself obsessing over past conversations, wondering if you're remembering things correctly, or if you've somehow misinterpreted everything. As the gaslighting persists, depression can set in, a heavy cloud of sadness and hopelessness that darkens your outlook on life. This can lead to feeling hopeless and isolated, as if you're trapped in a world where no one understands you or believes your experiences. The emotional toll is heavy, a constant drain on your energy and well-being. It feels like carrying a weight you can't put down, an invisible burden that weighs you down physically and emotionally. You lose trust in the gaslighter, the person who is deliberately distorting your reality. But even worse, you lose trust in yourself, questioning your own sanity and perceptions. This self-doubt is one of the most damaging consequences of gaslighting. You second-guess every decision, big or small, constantly seeking reassurance from others. You question your own judgment, doubting your ability to make sound choices or understand situations accurately. It becomes hard to function in daily life, as the constant self-doubt and anxiety interfere with your ability to concentrate and make decisions. You lose the ability to rely on your own instincts, second-guessing your gut feelings and intuition. Over time, you might even feel like you're going crazy, as your sense of reality becomes increasingly distorted. This feeling of instability is exactly what the manipulator wants, as it gives them more control over you. You may start to internalize labels like too sensitive, dramatic, or overreacting, further eroding your self-worth, or irrational, leading you to believe that your emotions and experiences are invalid or unfounded. This constant invalidation can make it hard to form healthy relationships in the future, as you may struggle to trust others or assert your own needs. Recognizing these impacts is crucial for healing and reclaiming your sense of self. Remember, your feelings are valid, your experiences matter, and you deserve to be heard and understood. Know that you are not alone in this struggle. Many people have experienced gaslighting, and there are resources available to help you heal and recover. Awareness is the first step to recovery, and by acknowledging the impact of gaslighting, you're already on the path to healing and reclaiming your life. Let's look at a lighter example from the movie. Cher tries to set up Elton with Ty, and Ty starts to believe Elton likes her. But Elton is actually interested in Cher, not Ty. When Cher rejects him, Elton takes it out on Ty, making her feel foolish for thinking he liked her. He dismisses her feelings and acts as if her belief was ridiculous. Elton's behavior makes Ty question her own judgment and feel embarrassed. He uses his social status to belittle her, denying her perception of his earlier actions. Ty is left confused and doubting her ability to read social cues. This is gaslighting, twisting a situation to make someone doubt themselves. Even in a comedy, it shows how manipulation can make someone feel responsible for a misunderstanding they didn't create. The result? Ty doubts her own reality. It's a subtle but clear example of emotional manipulation. Even small moments can have a big impact. Now let's talk about gaslighting especially between Ross and Rachel. Ross often made Rachel doubt her own experiences at work, especially when she started working with Mark. He'd dismiss her excitement and suggest Mark only hired her for romantic reasons. Ross's jealousy was framed as concern, making Rachel feel guilty for her career success. He'd correct her or twist details, making her feel less intelligent or like she was overreacting. This pattern left Rachel frustrated and confused, doubting her own feelings and decisions. Even though the show played it for laughs, it highlights how subtle manipulation can undermine confidence. Ross's actions sometimes made Rachel question her own reality. That's gaslighting, even in a sitcom. Gaslighting attacks your memory and emotions. The manipulator denies events that never happened or insists you're making things up. Sometimes they agree with you, then later deny it, creating constant confusion. You start to wonder if your memory is failing. They'll say you're too sensitive or overreacting, dismissing your genuine feelings. This makes you question if your emotional responses are normal. Over time, you might think you're the problem for feeling the way you do. The result is a thick fog of confusion. You can't get a grip on what's real. You start to question your own sanity, which is exactly what the gaslighter wants. Their goal is to make you dependent on their version of reality. When you stop trusting your own thoughts, you become easier to control. This is a dangerous dynamic in any relationship. Trust your instincts, they're there for a reason. Gaslighting works because it's slow and subtle. It starts with small denials or comments that seem harmless. Over time, these erode your confidence like a dripping tap. It often happens in close relationships where you trust the person. You want to believe them, so you doubt yourself instead. Gaslighters mix manipulation with kindness, keeping you off balance. Their hot and cold behavior makes it hard to see the pattern. You might hold on to the good moments, hoping things will improve. Gaslighters are convincing. They lie with confidence, sometimes even believing their own stories. Their certainty makes you doubt your own perceptions. When you're already confused, it's easy to believe someone who seems so sure. That's why gaslighting is so powerful, and so hard to escape. Recognizing the pattern is key to breaking free. Trust yourself even when it's hard. Spotting gaslighting can be tough, but there are signs. If you leave conversations feeling confused or constantly second-guess yourself, take notice. If someone regularly denies your experiences or makes you feel like your memories are wrong, that's a red flag. Feeling like you're walking on eggshells or needing to prove what happened is a warning sign. Trust your gut. If a relationship makes you feel anxious or invalidated, pay attention. Your intuition is your internal alarm system. Your feelings and experiences are real, no matter what anyone says. Believing in your own perceptions is the first step to healing from gaslighting. Talk to trusted friends or a therapist. They can help you see things more clearly. Rebuilding self-trust takes time, but it's possible. Journaling and mindfulness can help you reconnect with your reality. Be patient and compassionate with yourself as you heal. You have the right to your own reality, and to be treated with respect. Recognizing gaslighting is a huge step toward breaking free. Trusting yourself is your greatest strength. Hold on to your truth. It's powerful.